Students, in the previous video lecture, we have learned about specific heat of material. Specific heat is defined with S is equal to delta Q divided by M into delta T, where M is mass of the substance, delta T is change in the temperature. And we have learned types of specific heat, molar specific heat we have discussed, and heat capacity we have discussed. For gases, specific heats can be two types, that is specific heat at constant pressure and specific heat at constant volume, Cp and Cv. Cp is greater than that of Cv. Cp minus Cv is equal to R. This is what we have discussed earlier in the previous video lecture. And in today's lecture, we will continue calorimetry. Let us start with what is meant by water equivalent. Name itself tells you water equivalent. Water equivalent mean the mass of water which has same thermal capacity as that of the substance is called water equivalent. So it's very simple. Let me make it clear. You are taking a substance and this is another substance. Now say like this is iron and this is water. Water has specific heat SW, iron have specific heat SI. And initially both are at temperature theta initial. After some instant of time, temperature has been increased to theta final temperature. Theta F. Delta theta is equal to theta F minus theta I. This is temperature change or temperature increased. Now, you are taking in this container, there is some water. And in this container, you have iron. This iron has some heat capacity. I can now simply write heat capacity of iron H is equal to delta Q divided by mass of iron into delta theta. This is heat capacity of the iron. And specific heat or heat capacity of water HW is equal to delta theta divided by mass of water into delta theta. They both have individual specific heats. Therefore, heat capacity of water and heat capacity of iron both are different. Now, I am considering this heat capacity of what iron. Heat capacity of iron, if I suppose get it like 100 calorie per gram degree Celsius. This is what heat capacity of iron which has been got for 1 gram of iron. Okay. Now, if you are considering water, water has some specific heat. Water specific heat is like H of water, which is equal to 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius. This is for 1 gram of water. For 1 gram of water, it is 1 calorie required to raise its temperature by 1 degree Celsius. For 1 gram of iron, we are imagining that it is 100 calorie. For 1 gram of iron to raise its temperature by 1 degree, we are considering that it is 100. Don't take it as 100. You will be confused with that. I'll be considering this as, I'll consider it as like 0.2 calorie per gram degree Celsius. So for 1 gram of iron, how much amount of heat is being required? It is 0.2 calories required. So water equivalent mean how much amount of water is used, how much amount of water is being used in order to raise its temperature by 1 degree Celsius with a heat energy of 0.2 calorie. Right? For example, we have got 1 gram require 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius, like to raise its temperature by 1 degree Celsius. how many grams of water is required when its heat energy is 0.2 calorie to raise it by 1 degree Celsius. What you'll do, simply you'll cross multiply. Let us consider this as x. So it is 0.2 gram is equal to x into 1 calorie. So therefore, I can simply write it as x is equal to 0.2 divided by 1. This is gram. So how much amount of mass of water is required? 0.2. That means mass of water is equal to 0.2 gram, which is required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius for a heat energy of 0.2 calorie. This is called water equivalent of iron. Now 0.2 gram of water equivalent of iron. So how much iron you are considering? 1 gram of iron. For 1 gram of iron, water equivalent is 0.2 gram. Likewise, every material has its own specific heat. Based on its specific heat, you can calculate water equivalent for that. For iron, we are considering it as 0.2 calorie per gram degree Celsius. Like if you are taking this some other value instead of water, instead of iron, you can take some other value. Like for example, if I consider wood, for wood it may be different value, which is around 0.8. Then how much amount of water equivalent you get there? 0.8 gram is water equivalent of wood. So like that, based on its specific heat, you can calculate water equivalent of that particular material depending on how much heat energy is required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. So SI unit of water equivalent is kg and CGS unit of water equivalent is gram. Dimensional formula for mass of water is m, that is L power 0 T power 0 because it is only mass. Therefore, you can simply write, see this equation I have used. 1 gram require 1 calorie. How many grams require? 0.2 calorie. So just I'm comparing these two. Specific heat of water, mass of the water, specific heat of water into delta theta should be equal to mass of the substance, specific heat of the substance into delta theta. Delta theta on both sides gets cancelled. This gives you mass of the water. So mass of the water is equal to mass of the substance into specific heat of the substance divided by specific heat of water. This is the formula to calculate water equivalent. So whenever you want to calculate water equivalent of the substance, this is the formula, this is the relation we will be using to find out that. Based on specific heat, we will be solving one problem now. The lead piece of mass 25 gram gives out 1200 calorie of heat when it is cooled from 90 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees Celsius. So what happens to delta theta here? From 90 degrees Celsius, it has been decreased to 10 degrees Celsius. This gives you 80 degrees Celsius. Decrease in the temperature. Decrease in temperature results loss of heat energy. Decrease in temperature results loss of heat energy. And now here we are supposed to find out what is specific heat and thermal capacity and water equivalent. So first let us calculate what is specific heat. Specific heat of the substance S is equal to delta Q divided by M into delta theta. Now delta Q, which is total amount of heat energy required. How much amount of heat is required here? 1200 divided by mass of the substance. How much amount of substance you are considering here? 25 gram.
25.
Into delta theta, change in the temperature is 80 degrees Celsius. This gives you S, 0, 0, 0 gets cancelled. Of course, here it is 25 into 120. You can calculate this, you will be getting specific heat of the substance. And next you are supposed to find out thermal capacity. Thermal capacity is heat capacity. So you can simply write H is equal to Q divided by M. How much amount of heat is required here? Heat is absorbed here 1200. For how much amount of mass? 25 gram. That gives you 1200 divided by 25 gram gives you heat capacity. And the third one, water equivalent. Water equivalent is the basic principle. Heat required by this lead substance is equal to heat required by the water. So I can simply write mass of the lead, specific heat of the lead into change in the temperature should be equal to mass of the water, specific heat of the water into change in temperature of the water. However, this will be remain same. So I can now write mass of the water is equal to mass of the lead into specific heat of the lead divided by specific heat of water. So mass of the lead is 25 gram into specific heat of the lead. You will be calculating that here. You can substitute it. It is 120 divided by 25 into 8 divided by specific heat of water is 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius. Gram and gram gets cancelled. This gives you finally answer in gram. That is water equivalent of the substance. Student, small correction here. H is heat capacity. Here it is mentioned thermal capacity. I thought it's calorific value. Like H is heat capacity. Heat capacity is equal to mass of the substance into specific heat. Mass of the substance, it is 25 gram into specific heat is 0.6 calorie per gram degree Celsius. This gives you heat capacity. The third one is correct. So after calculation, specific heat of the lead, you get it as 0.6 calorie per gram degree Celsius. And the heat capacity of lead is 15. And mass of water equivalent is equal to 15 gram. Easy. Yeah. So it is been given the specific heat of a substance varies as 3 theta square plus theta into 10 power minus 3 calorie per gram degree Celsius. What is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of substance from 10 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius? We have formula for heat Q is equal to M S delta theta, where delta theta is change in the temperature, S is specific heat, M is mass of the substance. If specific heat, if S is equal to constant, then simply we will be writing Q is equal to MS delta theta. If S is variable with temperature, if specific heat is variable with respect to temperature, that means, for example, we have specific heat of water is 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius. This is at 4 degrees Celsius. At 4 degrees Celsius temperature, specific heat of water is 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius. But whereas specific heat of water at 100 degrees Celsius is 0.5 calorie per gram degree Celsius. This is at 100 degrees Celsius. As temperature is varied, what is happening to specific heat of the water? It is varying. So if the specific heat of the substance is variable with respect to temperature, then in such cases, we use integration. We use integration to evaluate. We use integration for the evaluation. Like in this case, I will be considering dq is equal to m s into d theta. where d theta is very small change in the temperature. For very small change in the temperature, we have required very small amount of heat energy dq. For the total change in the temperature delta theta, we are requiring q amount of heat energy. We will be taking very small elemental change in the temperature, that is d theta. For this elemental change in the temperature, how much heat is required? Elemental change dq is required. Now I'll be integrating this on both sides. So once if you integrate it, integration dq is equal to q, integration d theta is equal to theta. Yeah. So integration dq is ms d theta, but integration dq is equal to q, integration d theta is d theta, theta. So I will be writing it q is equal to mass of the substance into specific heat of the substance into integration d theta. Temperature is changing from 10 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius. So I will substitute here 10 and I'll substitute here 20. Now, how is this specific heat? How is this specific heat variable? Specific heat is variable with respect to temperature. And that specific heat is given as 3 theta square plus theta into 10 power minus 3. Take that and substitute here. Q is equal to m into integration 3 theta square plus theta into d theta. Limits are from 10 to 20. And this is finally calculated as Q is equal to m into integration 3 theta square d theta plus integration theta d theta. Limits are from 10 to 20. Limits are from 10 to 20. So Q will be equal to m into 3 is constant, which is not integrable. 3 you cannot integrate it because it is a constant value. I'll write it outside. Theta square d theta. This is in the form of x power n dx. Theta square d theta is equal to theta power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So that gives you theta power n. N is 2. 2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. Limits are from 10 to 20 plus m into integration. This theta d theta is theta power 1. So this gives you theta power 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1. Limits are from 10 to 20. So Q will be equal to this 3 and 3 gets cancelled. Mass is 25 kg. Sorry, 1 kg. So it is 1 into theta power 3. Limits are from 10 to 20 plus 1 into theta square divided by 2. Limits are from 10 to 20. Now substituting those limits here, we will be getting the final answer. So here we have got 10 power minus 3. The 10 power minus 3 will be however carried forward. So everywhere you will be getting the 10 power minus 3. Mass is given in kg. Mass is given in kg, and that mass also you can convert it into gram. Mass is 1 kg, right? So 1 kg is 10 power 3 into the specific heat value, it is 10 power minus 3. If I bring it out, 10 power 3 and 10 power minus 3 gets cancelled. So final answer will be 7150. There is no change in that. And that is in calorie. Yeah. Coming to the next question. First write down what is given to you in the problem. Radii is in the ratio R1 is to R2 is equal to 1 is to 2. Specific heats are in the ratio S1 is to S2 is equal to 2 is to 3. And densities are in the ratio ρ1 is to ρ2 is equal to 3 is to 4. Find ratio of their thermal capacities. What is thermal capacity? Thermal capacity is a H, which is equal to mass of the substance into specific heat. You want to find out H1 divided by H2. Ratio of their thermal capacities, it means H1 divided by H2. This gives you M1 S1 by M2 S2. But what is M1? Mass can be written as density into volume, that is rho 1 into V1 S1 divided by rho 2 into V2 into S2, where V1 and V2 are the volumes. What is given to you? There are spheres. These two are spheres. Therefore, volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. You can just substitute that here. H1 divided by H2 is equal to rho 1. What is volume V1? V1 is 4 by 3 pi into R1 cube into S1 divided by rho 2 4 by 3 pi into R2 cube into S2. 4 by 3 pi gets cancelled. This is H1 by H2 is equal to rho 1 by rho 2 into R1 by R2 whole cube into S1 divided by S2. What is rho 1 by rho 2 given? 3 by 4. What is R1 by R2 given? 1 by 2 whole cube. What is S1 by S2 given? 2 by 3. Okay, this 3 and 3 gets cancelled, and this is 1 by 4 into 1 by 8 into 1 by 2. Sorry, 2. This gives you 2 4 8, that is 1 by 16. So final answer H1 divided by H2 is equal to 1 by 16. Therefore, ratio of their heat capacities are in the ratio 1:16. Calorimetry is that which we measure heat energy of a substance, whether it is losing or whether it is gaining. And the device which is used to measure heat energy is called calorimeter. Calorimeter is a device which is used to measure heat energy, and this calorimeter is made up of wood. Calorimeter is a simple device which we will be constructing in order to measure heat energy lost or heat energy gained. So once we construct calorimeter, we will be using method of mixtures. We will be using method of mixtures to find out specific heat capacity of different substances. We can calculate specific heat of solids, specific heat of liquids, specific heat of gases. But in general, specific heat of solids and liquids can be calculated easily by using principle of method of mixtures. So what is meant by principle of method of mixtures, we shall see. Before that, let me explain what is meant by a calorimeter. Yeah, students, let us understand how calorimeter is made up of. Calorimeter is made up of a wooden box, and that wooden box is attached with a copper container, and inside that copper container there will be some water, and there will be some space provided to place a thermometer into the water and a stirrer into the water, and there will be a lid provided to this calorimeter to open and close. If you want to add some water or remove some water, or if you want to add any other material into this water, you can use it by opening this lid. And we are using this here, we are using a wooden box here because suppose you are taking any substance, like you are taking this substance. This is hot body. In order to measure its specific heat, directly you cannot do that in air medium, because from this material there will be continuously heat lost to the surroundings. There is some heat lost to the surroundings. As heat is lost here, we cannot measure accurately how much amount of heat this substance has. In order to avoid heat loss to the surroundings, we are taking the material inside the wooden box, because wood is bad conductor of heat energy. Wood is bad conductor of heat energy. So therefore, once if you are placing any material inside this calorimeter, that cannot lose its heat energy to the surroundings, because this is wooden box. Wooden box does not allow heat energy to pass from inside to the outside or outside to the inside. So accurately you can measure how much amount of heat energy that substance has. That's the reason why you'll be taking a wooden box. Along with that, you are taking a copper container, and in that you will be taking some water in order to measure specific heat of any substance, because specific heat of water is already known. It is 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius. This is known. Now I want to find out specific heat of any substance. So first let us calculate specific heat of solids. In order to calculate specific heat of solid, what I do, I'll be simply taking a bowl. Let me take a bowl. This is a bowl. And in this bowl, you will be placing some water. This is water. And you are placing one thermometer here. This is thermometer. Initial temperature is theta I. Theta I is the initial temperature of this water. Now you are taking one solid substance. You are taking a solid substance, like I am considering a sphere. I am placing one sphere in this. I want to find out specific heat of this sphere. Finding specific heat of iron sphere. I want to find out specific heat of this iron sphere. Now as this iron sphere is placed inside the water, what is its initial temperature? Definitely it will be theta I. Now what you do, you start heating this substance with a candle or with a burner, Bunsen burner, or any device you can take, and you heat it. As you heat it, what would happen to the temperature of water? Temperature of water increases. Final temperature, let us consider it as theta F. Theta F is final temperature. Now iron sphere is having same temperature theta F. Water is also having same temperature theta F. So we know specific heat, like we know final temperature of the specific heat, final temperature of this iron sphere, and mass of the sphere, I am considering it as ms. Okay. Now I want to find out specific heat of this iron substance. So what I do, I'll take this iron sphere and I'll place it into the calorimeter. Take iron sphere and place it in calorimeter. When you take this iron sphere and place it in the calorimeter, hot body is iron sphere, cold body is water and as well as calorimeter. So therefore, heat lost by iron the iron sphere is equal to heat gained by water plus calorimeter. So calorimeter in the sense, like only copper vessel will be absorbing most of the heat energy. Wood will not absorb any heat energy. What is formula for heat lost by the iron sphere? That is Q lost is equal to Q gain. What is formula for Q? Q is equal to ms delta T. That is mass of the sphere, specific heat of the sphere, into change in the temperature of the iron sphere, which is equal to mass of the water, specific heat of water, into change in the temperature of water, plus calorimeter is mass of the calorimeter or mass of the copper, into specific heat of copper, into change in temperature of copper. However, change in temperature of water and change in temperature of copper will be same. This will be mass of the water into specific heat of the water, mass of the copper into specific heat of copper, into delta theta. This is temperature change of the calorimeter. And this temperature change in the sphere, that is theta F, which we have already known, minus final temperature is common for the sphere, water, and as well as iron, as well as copper vessel. So therefore, you can find out this specific heat of the sphere if all the right hand side and left hand side terms are known. Mass of the sphere, you will measure it using a simple balance or common balance, and delta theta you can measure it by using a thermometer. Mass of the water, you will be already measuring it. Specific heat of water is already known, and mass of the copper vessel you can measure it, and specific heat of the copper should also be known in order to find out specific heat of this iron sphere. This method of finding specific heat of the substance is called method of mixtures, and this is useful in finding specific heat of solids and as well as specific heat of liquids also. Yeah, students, using the same method, using the principle of method of mixtures, just now how we have calculated specific heat of the solid, in the same way we can find out specific heat of liquid also, that is number 2. We are finding now specific heat of the liquid, but only one small change is the liquid whose specific heat is to be measured, you will be taking that in the calorimeter. Okay, you will be taking that material inside the calorimeter. Now what you'll do, you will replace this water with liquid whose specific heat of the liquid is unknown. I want to find out specific heat of the liquid. That material I am placing it inside the calorimeter. Procedure is the same. Already we have calculated specific heat of the iron sphere. We know that. We have calculated its value. So what you will do? First you will take this iron sphere. You will be heating it up to certain temperature in this water. First we will measure it. We'll increase its temperature to some desired value by placing it in this hot water. And then we will take this iron sphere and place it in the calorimeter. In that calorimeter already we are taking the liquid whose specific heat to be measured. Therefore, heat is lost by the iron sphere. Who is gaining heat energy in this case? Liquid is gaining heat energy, and as well as calorimeter is gaining the heat energy. So I can simply write heat lost by iron sphere is equal to heat gained by liquid plus calorimeter. So heat lost by iron sphere, that is Q lost, is equal to Q gained. Q lost by the iron sphere is mass of the mass specific heat into delta theta. Heat gained by the water liquid is mass of the liquid into specific heat of the liquid into change in the temperature of the liquid. However, change in the temperature of liquid and calorimeter will be same. Therefore, I can take it common out over there. What is left over here? Mass of the liquid into specific heat of the liquid. What are unknown quantities in this? All these right hand terms are known. Left hand side terms, except this SL, you should know all. From here you can calculate specific heat of the liquid. This is the way, using the principle of method of mixtures, we can calculate specific heat of solids and as well as specific heat of liquids. The only principle which we are using is principle of calorimetry, that is heat lost by hot body will be definitely equal to heat gained by the cold body. And the method of finding specific heat is called method of mixtures.